Today is November 20th. It is day number 44 since the war between Israel and Hamas has begun. If you hear the rain, it is pouring outside. It is a cold and rainy day here in Israel. Let's take a first-hand look into the Israeli newspapers and the Hebrew headlines. One of the main headlines are the 7 soldiers, Israeli soldiers, that were killed yesterday in the war in Gaza. 7. All the newspapers have it. Israel Hayom has the 7 soldiers that were killed. It's a high price as the number of soldiers is continuing to increase. Shiv'a chayalim nehergu. 7 soldiers were killed in one day, betoch yemama. Another major headline, התקדמות במגעים לעסקה. There is a progression in the deal between releasing the hostages and releasing terrorists from Israeli prisons. 50 hostages for 140 prisoners. Prisoners are the terrorists. Israel Hayom is also mentioning Beit Cholim LeTerror, a hospital for terror. And it says, Sirtonim Shifa mochechim. Videos from Shifa are proving that some hostages were led to the hospital. Noa Marziano, one of the hostages, was killed in the hospital. We see her videos of Israelis being forced through the hospital and being taken to the hospital. These are hostages, Israeli hostages on October 7th being pulled into Gaza against their will. Let's open Yediot Acharonot to the main article, Mivchan HaChatufim, the test of the hostages. This article is about the disputes, about how many hostages to release versus how many terrorists. Maybe it's to demolish Hamas first. It's been a very hard week in the war cabinet concerning these areas. Israel b'milchama, Israel's at war. Diyun leili, a night discussion. Kabinet HaMilchama, the war cabinet, gathered together to make a decision. This is more about the hostage deal. And here in the picture, we see the hostages being led by force into the Shifa hospital in Gaza by Hamas terrorists. Down here, השתלטות על ספינה בהוראת Iran. Iran commanded to take over an Israeli ship. So Iran is increasing its involvement in this war through the Houthim in Yemen. בואו נהיה העם ששחר מת בשבילו. Let's be the people that Shachar died for. And Shachar is a paratrooper fighter. He was fighting in Gaza. He was interviewed by journalists just before he entered Gaza, and during the weekend, he was killed. Shachar was very motivated to fight. They quote him saying, when I saw the battles, I said, I have nothing to do here at home. I see my people and I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to die for my country. These are the giborim, the heroes that will not return. In Hebrew, hagiborim shelo yashuvu. Chen was a marathonist. Here is Yakir. Yakir said he was the best father and the best friend. Rani had post-trauma, but he enlisted anyway and was willing to fight. Ro'i Biber, he was an excellent student. Binyamin, he was courageous, strong, and he said that he was the man of men. Gal, he was an excellent soccer player. And Adir, he was released from the service in August and joined his friends in reserve duty since October 7th. The next headline reads, Kol Israel chatufa karega be'aza. All of Israel is kidnapped right now in Gaza. And it's an opinion article about how the hostages need to be number one in the goals of this war. It says whoever says that the war comes before the deal of releasing the hostages is playing with the hostages. Tens or hundreds of them will not even survive, and they will be killed as the IDF gets closer to them by Hamas. It says Hamas lo chataf et hayeladim rak kemagen enoshi. Hamas did not kidnap the children just as a human shield and just to release terrorists from Israel, but also to break us apart from within. and he will be able to hold them there for 2 years if he would like. So we see in the photograph the vigil and the march stating that they want the release of the hostages first and foremost before anything else. This was during the weekend, this march of thousands of people calling for the release of the Israeli hostages. You can see a report on the march in our All Israel YouTube channel that we did on Friday. Israel is at war. Concerns in the White House. בגלל התמיכה בישראל, because of the support in Israel, Biden is crashing in the polls. Biden is courageous and it's costing him a price. Here, Pam b'mea shana, this is about the rain. It says it hasn't been such a rainy day yesterday since 100 years. That's a lot. Here's a daily segment, Chatufim, the hostages. This is Avigail's aunt that's holding Avigail's photo. Avigail is a 4-year-old girl that was taken in captivity with another 240 hostages on October 7th into Gaza. So these are the main headlines in the Hebrew newspapers. For more stories, go to All Israel News and follow us on social media and YouTube. Share these stories with your friends that they will know what is really happening here in Israel. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.